Welcome back, chat. Ah, we are back, chat. We're doing some fucking Mario scaling. Just gotta invite people. Because this is about to be fucking peak. Yo, what's good, Emma? I'm in a good mood today. Skib, 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 skib. Scoot up, scoot up. What's up, man? I'm about to scale Mario and its cosmology. Because why not? When I tell you this is going to be very, very peak, and you will definitely buy this because I got every consistent scan there is. Without further ado, why don't we start? Y'all ready to start? Because I know y'all ready. All right, let's get started with this shit. So we have the pre-established microcosms. What are microcosms in Mario? Microcosms are the they're the dimensions slash universes within Mario and realities. These microcosms are said to be universe that is composed inside the larger structure that is the macrocosm. What's up, John? Anyways, I will be showing the scan. So here we have the Mario Galaxy, I think, yeah, Mario Galaxy 2 scan right here. Hold on. I know this text is in Spanish, but I'll give you the translation. So no need to fear. With these microcosms being infinite in size due to space being infinite, which is pretty tough, this would conclude that the this would conclude within the Mario multiverse within the macrocosm are just like they're just infinite sized universes. But this we can get something much higher than this. As we know, the macrocosm is described the main universe that was made up of infinite tapestry of microcosms in higher dimensions. Basically, I will be showing the scan for this. The tapestry of dimensions that make up the universe, which is in context of the infinite microcosms and the infinite higher dimensions. So basically, this is going like cookie click scaling. So the microcosm as houses these things called subspaces, which are stated to be multiple times to be dark parallel dimensions, and each of them is universal sized realms. This is why we see the worlds that Mario goes to. Basically, within here, Where the fuck is the dark? Oh yeah, Dark Mirror Worlds. But yeah, these are subspaces. We know consistency that they're parallel dimensions because as ba 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 da, ba. Then Toad's statement, whatever the fuck this nigga was named. So that's tough. So, and these subspaces shown as these scans are stated to be mirror images of a reality itself, meaning that the microcosm houses, houses its own infinite multiverses because of these subspaces. And since a subspace is stated to be alternate worlds that manifest based on locations that exist within a microcosm, like for example, a subspace can be manifested through a restaurant, or a subspace can be manifested by a house. Basically, every location can bring forth a subspace. But how many locations exist in a single microcosm? Well, it was shown that a person body contains a location via Botella taking Mario and Luigi into her belly, which contains a dark and a stormy location within her. And in Bowser's Inside story, we see locations throughout Bowser's body, which can be manifested in these locations. And since a single microcosm should have infinite atoms, since it's infinite in size, making each microcosm an infinite size structure. Are we showing scans for this right now? All right, so I do have to warn you guys that this is going to be a long scale, like a long one. And now, for the reason why the amount of atoms equals size of the reality, like it is a finite universe, it will have a certain amount of atoms that are present within it. And in Mario's case, it's infinite, so there must be infinite atoms. And we see Bowser's Inside story that atoms are actually sentient, which well, they should have at least organs in them, a brain, and as they're sentient, which is going to be a location as we see in Bowser's Inside story that you can visit Bowser's brain as it is a location, meaning that there's infinite locations within a fucking atom which are their own reality. So, hold on, I'm almost done. Meaning that we have infinite locations within a microcosm, which in turn allows infinite subspaces to exist, and each dimension is to be a microcosm, which shows that they contain infinite subspaces. I'll show you right now. Wait, hold on. Let me read something in my chat. Oh, because based on research, it showed that it exists in the dreams of beings only, specifically subspaces. No, that's the subcons, not the subspaces. Subcons and subspaces are way different. But we'll get into the subcons in a second. But like I said, this is going to be a long ass scale. Like a long ass scale. More consistency that they're sentient. So that's going to be peak. And since I already showed the scan that they're infinite, like this, yeah, and that they're composed into a larger structure, which is the macrocosm. So yeah, that would be cool. Now here's where it gets higher and higher. The base microcosm is stated to be magic. And magic is abstract and conceptual. Well, the base macrocosm is stated to be magic, as magic governs everything within everything in reality itself. Since magic is abstract and conceptual, as it was stated that magic is the product of the desires and thoughts of beings, such as this right here. Hold on. Hold on. And since the Ku Klux then states that every Mario character is formed by the magic of their world, and this magic is described as to be the overallness of essence of reality itself, as in order to understand this magic, Kulaks must understand the overall essence nature of Mario's reality. So I'll just make every microcosm exist on an abstract and conceptual level. And anything that is impossible exists within Mario, as it is stated that anything that is illogical is logical in Mario's world, meaning that anything that should be impossible is logical to exist within Mario's world, which is more supported as it's stated that the Mario world is a universe of possibilities and contains everything that can be imagined and everything that can't be imagined, meaning it can impass all logical possibilities and impossibilities, which would make it 1T type 2. I will be showing this. Hold on. So we got here, right? Yeah, this is in Spanish, yeah. But hold on. I got you because I have a translation, which seems sounds illogical, but in Mario's world, it's possible. Basically, in this specific scan, it's a universe of possibilities with everything you can imagine. So this would make an average microcosm 1T. But here's the problem. What if they aren't the same what if they aren't the same like structures? Well, I got you because in every microcosm, well, all microcosms are parallel to each other. As it says, Peach demonstrates in this mad dash across the parallel planes. Basically, it's insinuating that each microcosm is parallel to each other, meaning they should all scale to the same thing. Now, there is a concept called the Mario quiz cards. What is the Mario quiz cards, you may ask? The quiz cards are supposed to mean like, how should I say this? The quiz cards are like the known information within Mario. It was stated to be an educational program that features Mario and his friends learning information about around the world with you in their adventure. Which would mean anything that logically exists within these quiz cards has to have a necessary existence within the Mario universe. I will be showing scans now. This is where it gets broken, like broken, like closest to negging creepypasta, closest. Y'all ready? All right. In the Mario quiz cards, it was shown that every type of mathematics exists within the Mario lore, as it is stated within the quiz cards that all types of mathematics from all branches within within the Mario world, as known concepts and information. Basically, all types of mathematics from all branches of exist within the Mario verse as known information in universe. And the microcosms is said to be a structure where mathematics is the fundamental law. Not only equations and algebra physically exist within a microcosm, but every mathematical concept, structure, and idea also physically exists within it. As it was stated, all things mathematical known as in Mario are physically present within the microcosm, which will include all types of mathematics from all branches. Double down, all constructs within reality are stated to be comprised of mathematical concepts. Things like trees, locations are stated to form off mathematical equations. And at one point, the guide states that a mountain being a mathematical structure, as it's called a mathematical peak, instead mountain peaks. I will be showing you scales a scan now. Oh shit! Hold on. All right, here's where it gets a little fucking tricky. People love to debunk this by, oh, it's hermetic, like all branches from a math. Like it literally says it right there. It's the basis of all other branches of math. That doesn't really debunk it by a single mathematical existence. Like let's say how like it's in context of like how should I say this? It's in context for the other branches of mathematics exist. It's just describing what algebra and arithmetic is. But then it proceeds to go other of the other branch of mathematics. Basically, what it's trying to imply. So yes, they all do have a physical existence. So I will be proving that now. I'm not gonna lie, I'm cooking so fucking hard. In all things mathematical. Which would insinuate that Mario has a Type 4 multiverse, which is tough as him. I do want to talk about the galaxies and the planets within Mario real quick before we enter the complicated shit. So there's a galaxy within the microcosm which is called the Matter Splatter Galaxy, which is stated to be a superdimensional space. This is consistent due to the official Mario. The official Mario wiki states that the official translation is a super space. I will be showing that 1 second. It's also known as extra dimensional, hyperdimensional too. Like all of that. It's not contradictory though, as anything. As we established, anything illogical is logical. As I stated right here, superdimensional, hyperdimensional, extra dimensional space. And it's perhaps the existence of the galaxy itself. Yeah, I will be debunking like hyperbolic statements like that. So we could refer to Plato's beard. What is Plato's beard? It's a concept that Plato invented where if your statement has an ontological globalization, just like this one, it's actualized. So that would mean that all of these that would mean this is just an entire galaxy out of countless, infinite, all of that. So that would just mean that this entire galaxy would just be like one out of infinity. And since these galaxies are infinite in size too, yes, we can just use Plato's beard to fucking do this too, because it feels infinite. But just because it feels gets contradicted by the second statement, as does the number of people who make it hum, which literally means that that it's infinite. And these galaxies also houses their own possibilities too, meaning that these galaxies have infinite logical possibilities, which would make them one T. Wow, this is so tough. Uh, anyways, it was stated in the latest Mario adventures that started to fiddle with the physics and bend with geometry and fend with geometry in non-Aleutian ways. At the same time of Mario Galaxy 2, which is the when the magazine was produced, the constructors of Matter Splitter Galaxy are said to be temporary, and it appears and disappears below him. That's not what a hyperspace does. So anybody that tries to debunk it being a hyperspace, you're just object. My bad, my mic got cut off. Anyone who argues that it's like a hyperspace is objectively wrong, considering how deconstructors are only said to be temporarily as it appears and disappears. So that's not what a hyperspace does. That's what a superspace does. So pipe down, Mario down, players. Anyways, since then, it's also stated that he traveled to a different dimension, maybe even in spatial sense, because in the other stands, stating how the pipe of this level is rarely one of the things affected by the galaxy, and the second one is about the road disappearing, and the third scan also keeps stating how construction keeps appearing and disappearing out of reality, out of one place, basically. I will be showing scans. Us Mario fans are eating good tonight. That's so tough. So that was tough. Matter splatter stages are also stated to reduce the grip on reality. In this magazine, which is the edge of magazine 213, it talks about how the ideas matter splatter galaxy affect space, meaning that matter splatter galaxy is indeed a higher dimensional space within the microcosm just by a fucking galaxy alone. Even the third sketch talks about spatial concepts of the game, like Matter Splatter Galaxy, which even scans directly stating Matter Splatter Galaxy exist in different regions of space, calling them spatial challenges, but also calls them transdimensional. Holy fuck! I have to show scans for this. This is just fucking crazy. Sonic fans are gonna be pissed. W. Hey, what's up, Insanity? Welcome to the chat. Oh yeah, this is the same scan that proves that anything is that universes are possibilities with everything you can imagine. Sonic fans when Mario beats the donkey fuck out of their goat. Yeah, I already debunked Sonic to multi-solar system plus. You can go to historic for the rest because he's a good debunker, Loki. This is just a galaxy, by the way. I'm not. I'm just saying. Also, you could argue that matter splatter galaxy can contain the Boo realm, which basically transcends the microcosm, which I will be going into that later. But it's just going to be a projectilization of it. As it's stated, it loses your grip on reality, basically, making you see like some fucking illusions type shit. So, yeah. Now, before I continue, we're going to talk about Mario's world, aka the planet that he lives on. Oh, I'm excited because I'm being so genuine right now. This is the closest verse to negging creepypasta. I'm not joking. This is perhaps the closest. Anyways, as you could know, the Mario world is like inside of a galaxy, and according to the quiz cards, there's an endless amount of galaxies, right? All right. To get to the Earth in context of the human world, it was stated off the Yoshi's Island official guides that the moon, where Yoshi fights against Raphael and Raven, is said to be the size of a star, which would make the Earth as big as a small star, even a normal star, or even large star, because as shown within the the planet right here, that's the planet. They're just on the moon. Wait a minute. I just fucking proved that the Earth was solar system in size. All right, bet. Um, here's proof that he's as large as a star. Yeah, Japanese text. Those are usually the best ones. Perhaps. All right, that would just make Mario's planet as big as a solar system. But this could get higher and higher and higher, and so much higher. Donkey Kong Bonanza. Donkey Kong Bonanza basically presupposes the Hollow Earth theory, which there's an existence of an entire star within the planet. Basically, this. You see that? Yeah, I do too. Since there's an existence of an entire star, which would make it star level. In the underground, there are 17 main layers plus 44 sub layers, which would make the Mario's world have 61 layers. I almost said 6, 7. I'm going to kill myself. And each layer has stars, as I showed, which means there's 61 stars, and their stars have the same properties as stars, which these stars are stated to be entire suns, and with these same properties as suns. With them housing their own weather and climate, with 1, 2, 3, so many active tornadoes and lightning strikes too. This might be the stormiest of the storms, stormiest storm of all meteorological history. Which is kind of impressive, by the way, because these houses their own biggest storms. Blah, 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 blah. I also stated that without vertical turns, sinkholes, the people in their respective layer cannot travel. I will be showing that in a secchione. Hold on, it's a video. I have to fuck up. I didn't screenshot the timestamp. Fuck. Fuck. I got you though. Don't worry. It's not that hard. Just trying to find a timestamp. This not. This is a little pause for now. Okay, I found it. Ain't nobody give a fuck. There you go. Wow. You know what? This is going to be even more crazier because as I've seen, layers are in their entire fucking realm. Realm correlates to a universe, which means that they're their own universes, basically, or entire worlds. Calling my bad. Anyways, since each layer is a separate realm, meaning that there are own separate universes where they're hierarchical layered universes, which means, well, I wouldn't call it RF because that isn't technically RF. It's also described as beyond imagination. This isn't hyperbolic, as by Plato's beard, it has an ontological blindization, therefore it can be actualized. And there is a world. Well, actually, hold on. I want to. The underground has the same properties and size as the world above. I will show you what the world above is. Let me show you the scans that it presupposes the idea of it being the same size as the fucking world above. Oh yeah, they had Mario mangas. You never knew that. Well, yeah, they had entire Mario mangas. That's kind of peak. We're going back here. All right, what is the world above? The world above is the home of Mario and the cast as the well. Hold on. This is the world above. First of all, it's basically the home of Mario, which the cast, as the world is seen by the land folks to be disguised in the clouds and only access through the extra dimensional portals to get there. Yes, portals in context of Mario refers to extra dimensional portals. I'll be showing you a scan for that in a second. It's also stated to be its own universe too, which this scan pretty much presupposes. Now here's where it gets really fucking insane for the Mario's planet. The Mario world is separate from the microcosm. It's in context. Well, it's not really. It's still within the microcosm, but it's in context of its own separate multiverse it has. Science fiction exists within Mario, which is kind of tough because science fiction includes metaphysics, which would mean that the planet is metaphysical. And anything else higher than the planet, which is the galaxy, microcosm, etc., is metaphysical. I will show you proof that on the official encyclopedia, it's as metaphysics. You see it right there because it's so tough. Science fiction also means that they're going beyond science. Well, science fiction is mixed with the author's imagination within Mario. Which would add consistency that the Mario universe has like a the Mario planet has a fucking alternate universes of their own, even their own alternate timelines, which would make it as a whole set of a multiverse. Bum, ba, da, ba, 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 ba. Hey, who the fuck are you? Because I know your ass ain't talking. Look at your profile picture, ugly ass whore. Fuck out my chat, dumbass nigga. Anyways, sorry about that, guys. Anyways, since we know that metaphysics exists within the Mario planet, right? That would mean that the entire Mario planet is metaphysical, right? In conclusion, planets and galaxies within Mario is so fucking broken. Now we're gonna continue the microcosms because we know that it houses all of this. In each microcosm, they're said to be in different space times. And since we know that space time is abstract concepts of space and times, there would be outerversal gaps in between them. So traveling through different microcosms would be to have a irrelevant speed gap, basically. All right, here's where it gets. The microcosm has multiple layers of existences. We had Super Paper Mario as Mario can exist in the third dimension. Why is this important? This realm is stated to be plane of existence, as in the guidebooks. It stated that Mario is going back to the 2D world. Is this is the same as him returning back to his native plane of existence? The third plane is regarded as a higher dimensional plane, as its dimensionality makes the previous plane, Mario native plane of existence, look like flat worlds. Dimensional magic users, like Mario, are stated to be able to access or alter any dimensionality of objects, living beings, or themselves, as they can freely manipulate the dimensions of people, right? And we see the the flip technique applies to that in the game. It was stated that the red changing his dimensionality by accidentally flipping is equivalent of Mario's dimensional flip ability, as noted in the official guidebooks. It was stated, unlike Mario, after accidentally flipping into the third dimension in morning, he didn't have the dimensional technique to get himself at will. Let me check the chat. Damn, looks like someone got this. That's crazy. Whoever the fuck that guy was, he's a fucking low tier. So no, we don't need to worry about him. He ain't a threat. Nigga ain't a threat. Don't worry. Dimensional. Anyways. And this is supported as it to be related to his dimensionality, as when he changes back to his native plane of existence, he states that he is going back to normal, showing that it was his dimensionality that was changed instead. Meaning Mario and other dimensional magic users have access to any dimensional planes as they desire via their dimensional magic, allowing them to freely manipulate and enter dimensions planes freely, meaning something without restrictions or limits. Dimensional magic users are capable of manipulating any dimensions as they aren't restricted to. On the types of dimensions they can manipulate, and they show that Mario has the ability to dimensions and planes beyond the third dimension, which would mean that The microcosm houses its own infinite dimensional planes, or just planes of existences, and each plane of existence transcends the previous one infinitely. I mean, not infinitely, but completely, making it an infinite hierarchy of conceptual transcendences. This is tough because since you're completely transcending said concept, fuck, holy blunder. Since you're transcending the entirety of it, that would mean it's a conceptual transcendence. So that would just make it an infinite hierarchy of conceptual transcendences. Anyways, I'll send the scans because I know y'all are getting too impatient. Well, I don't know if y'all getting impatient. I'm just enjoying it, guys. Don't worry. There was this nigga named Souls. Hold on, I'll look him up real quick. Oh yeah, I know him. He's a fucking low tier. He's a Fasudo. Whatever. He's a fucking nigger, anyways. Anyways, I'm gonna send more scans. Most of this is in Japanese text, so don't blame. But don't worry, I got you. It states right here, like here specifically. I think. Yes. Wait, right here. It states in the context on what I translated. It says, "Did you see that? We can freely manipulate the dimensions of objects." It's not that big of a deal, Emma. Don't do that. Because it is what it is at the end of the day. People will always try to bring you down. Just don't do that. Don't fall into their schemes, okay? Just do what you gotta do. They're just sad about their own pathetic life. Okay? Don't worry about it. It's not that big. Anyways, I'll continue sending more scans. With the definition of really. Not being controlled or limited. I do have to send a scan, one more scan, about them being flat worlds. Hold on. Do, 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 do. Here it is. Hold on, I'll translate that. Hold on. Right here, specifically right here. It says, "Hurry, the flat world too quickly transforms into a 3D world." Well, the top says, "Hurry, the flat world 2D quickly transforms into a 3D world. Mario's dimensional move. The ability to switch between 2D and 3D worlds is this world switch ability to move back and forth between two worlds to advance." Which would add consistency. So that's peak. All right. This infinite hierarchy of transcendence is contained within the actual fabric of space itself, according to this best focus, meaning that we have the fabric of space of the microcosm is a higher dimensional structure that embodies a hierarchy of planes of existence that each plane it transcends the previous plane of existence. Meaning that there's a infinite outer versal transcendence of hierarchies. Now, it was explained that the flip side was being developed was being influenced by essence of other worlds stabilizing. Flip side to not get affected by influences. Then we come to learn that these so-called influences are called dimensional flows. Each dimension and each microcosm possesses its own dimensional flow, and in the flip side, it was designed and Antoda to manipulate a dimensional flow of each world to create portals to these worlds in a form of dimensional travel. And by creating these said portals, by manipulating the dimensional flow, that means it manipulates the very fabric of space time. The world is dimensional travel, only happening by manipulating the fabric of space time of a specific dimension. And the reason of bringing this lore information up is because one ancient, and he is called Merlite, as Hevwas said, stated by Tippy to be an ancient that was responsible of designing Flipside, meaning he must have deep knowledge on the very concept slash nature of these dimensions slash microcosms work, as if he was one of those design devices that manages to influences, aka the dimensional flows of those dimensions. And then the Japanese guide or Japanese version, he was stated to have he has deep knowledge in all fields. Knowledge of all fields could mean basically anything with context, but in the context of the lore, he is well versed on controlling the dimensional energy of flows, dimensions reality by making by making devices that allow such manipulation on each dimensional flow. I will be showing scans. Oh, shit, this is a little bit too big. Hold on. I also stated into one of the scans where the macro, which is basically houses all of this, is the space between the microcosms, which would add a qualitative superiority over it. And showing math itself is a very important aspect of a single dimension and microcosm in terms of existence, which should really make it an important factor of dimensional energy flows, as these energies are the very nature of and Merlite, having deep knowledge on manipulation of dimensional flow, should show that he has knowledge of all fields in the area of mathematics, and he uses that knowledge to manipulate energy flow that is equivalent of the overall essence of reality. Thus, that reality has all forms of mathematical concepts from the field of in the very essence of space-time. Every dimension has its own dimensional energy flow, or dimensional energy flow. Yeah, and these energies are shown to have the very essence of those dimensions. By manipulating these energies for like the dimensional travel, it warps the dimension fabric of space and time. Each dimensional flow, energy flow, as math as the important factor of mathematics is the fundamental law of each microcosm. Merlin, having a knowledge of all fields, should be around mathematics if he used that knowledge to create devices that can manipulate dimensional energy, the flow of every dimension, despite each dimensional flow having mathematics as its important factor of its existence. So basically, dimensional flow is physically embodying mathematics itself, basically in a way. So now here's where it really gets fucking crazy. I'm not joking. Like this time it's going to be. So we know that in each microcosm there's different laws of physics. Like basically this. Alright. In the Mario and the microcosm, magic is the universe, as according to Cluplex. If he wanted to understand the very nature of reality, he must understand the magic of it first. And every character in the world is formed by it, which makes them obviously have connections within the universe. But then we have the elemental spirits, which are three types of energy magic of the Mario world. They make up the very structure of Mario World, basically. But in the Japanese version of Luigi Mansion, it states that the entities, by extension magic, as their variations of it, that they are the very origin and root of all things that exist. That would make the microcosm the very root of everything that exists. Okay, magic too. And since Chakran, while being one of the universe, he is a part of every living being's conscious. Fire was stated to be the very concept of justice itself. Then it was stated that all exist ultimately and fundamentally as more patterns of energy in all thoughts, feelings, and imaginations of people as people of this said energy. Showing that all thoughts, feelings, ideas, and imagination or beings are mere organizations of pure energy that is magic, which is consistent as paint, which is the very concept essence of Mario's world, embodies minds of every being in the Mario world, which would include all thoughts and feelings. And paint is also the very concept of the soul within Mario, if you want to argue it. These entities are said to be the origin of everything that is related to its energy, as the spirit of fire is the very concept of fire itself, basically. Which basically makes the magic in the universe essentially collective unconscious. By containing all ideas and thoughts of every being in the Mario world, it is a structure as is the root of everything and the origin of everything. So basically, the microcosm out of infinity, a structure that acts of every origin, of every fleeting idea, and the minds of every living being in the Mario world. Holy fucking blunder! This also makes microcosm platonic as it's the very concept of justice, which is a platonic concept, and we know that the platonic concepts exist within Mario, which I will get into in a second, which will make the microcosm platonic. Anyways, showing scans now. He said it clear. I've been a fall and a visit of the wrong. I'm almost done, don't worry. Oh, my bad, I accidentally closed that out. Oh shit. I have to do that all again. I didn't realize that was fucking shit. Fuck. Almost done. What does this all mean? That would go to show everything is literally possible on a conceptual level, meaning all collective imagination, ideas, and belief of every being is the base material of the microcosm itself and its structure. And since Platonism exists in Mario, via the fire being the concept of justice would indicate that it's a Platonic concept, that the magic in the universe is Platonic in nature, as the root of everything that exists. Oh, scans. Don't you fucking say this was deep, because this is because the debunks against Platonism and Mario are debunkable as fuck. Like, yeah, like against Neoplatonism. Yeah. But yeah, we're doing good so far. Now here's where it gets interesting. Since the ideas of belief in every being is the base material of the microcosm itself and all its structure. Also, what's up? This would mean that there's an innumerable amount of religions, that exists as cosmological structures, not the gods themselves, because that'd be fucked. And the main examples are right there: Hinduism, Buddhism, Confucianism, Taoism, Shinto, Zoroastrianism, Islam, Judaism, and Christianity. We're exposing Mysterion. Uh, that's tough. Yeah, yeah. Can you just say this all in DMs? I don't really want to deal with this on my special day, please. Chronic, I don't really want you saying all this in chat, please. Just say it in my DMs. Anyways, since then, hold on. Sorry about that, Chronic. You're just gonna have to tell me that in DMs. Sorry. Anyways, now we know that. We can add consistency why this would be the case. Basically, um, hold on, let me get it. Islamic religion and Christian religion and the Egyptian mythology all exists. I'll show you scans. A Mario Kun. I know this is all in Japanese, but I'm fucking sorry. Wait, these are porn scans. Hold on. Therefore, adds consistency that Mario contains all those. But I got more. As this is the original. And we got Greek mythology. Greek mythology is connected to Norse mythology, which basically Paul states that collective unconscious. Wait, hold on. Sorry. Which basically Paul states that Carl Jung's collective unconscious and Kabbalism exists. The Kabbalah tree exists. Since the entire microcosm would be the root of all these things and contain all these things, that would just make it like contain all of this. Anyways, I think we should discuss. I think that's in front of microcosm. I think that's actually it for the microcosm. Yeah, that's it for the microcosm. That's pretty peak though. That was it for the microcosm. Well, we're going to establish that the macrocosms are entire hyper timelines. Yeah, this is going to be a long time to explain, so bear with me here, okay? Just bear with me, okay? Yeah. Hold on 1 second. Anyways, in order to understand this concept, we must focus on the ability Dirk Prognosticus as it's the key of figuring it out. The Dark Prognosticus is described as a book that predicts all future events until the universe ends. As is stated in this Japanese text, the Black Book of Prophecy, a book that describes events that will occur in the future up into the end of the world or something like that. Meaning time ends when the destruction of the universe ends, thus showing its dimension of time. And in the void, it is shown to be the very rift of that happened in the universe. That rift is also described as a hole in the very fabric of dimensional space. And if this rift is in this universe grows larger, it will slow all of existence. It will slow and erase all of existence, all worlds and dimensions. Meaning the dimensional fabric of the universe basically held all of existence, all worlds and all dimensions will fit one construct that is the universe, as the void is basically a rift in the universe posed to erase everything within it. Why does it qualify as a hypertime? As stated before, hypertimes are basically infinite, not basically higher dimensions of time that encompass the lower dimensions of time, as it can still have a time flow even with multiple space times in it that contains all worlds mentioned existence inside of itself. The universe is not an exception, as it's shown as the Dark Chronicles, Prognaturdus, whatever you fucking spell it. It predicts all future events until the end of the universe, meaning time ends right after the universe ends, as it's shown a clear time flow. The reason why it It is a prominent thing in the Mario verse, as we see it in the case of Super Mario Bros. In the NS, whatever. It's just stated in a Mario that goes in a different world. Anyways, I forgot one thing. I forgot to establish that the microcosms follow Type 3 multiverse or many worlds interpretation. The very first enemy, Waxto, appears is a helmet. After clearing the entire world, the reverse side of Mario's world begins, where all Goombas turn into helmet monsters. And the difficulty is double timing. With the more obstacles and faster enemy movements, can you really conquer it? Meaning that they're parallel timelines of the main microcosm or macrocosm, if you will. But the real quicker comes in Mario Galaxy 2, as it stated that one of the is a set in another world, not chronologically connected to Mario Galaxy 1, basically. The game is described as a parallel world of the Stardust Festival that happened in Galaxy 1. A world born from that event, basically a possibility being realized in another world, which brings forth quantum events that bring forth these entire worlds. And Mario Galaxy 2 is stated to be another story of Stardust Festival, which shows that stories are physically realized possibilities. There are stories within stories, like an infinite recursive of stories in Super Mario Bros. NS guidebook, which would mean that the entire macrocosms and macrocosms are in narratives, as they're stated to be stories, and stories have narratives, all that, which follows infinite nested theory. And in conclusion, basically from what the Mario staff tells us is these parallel worlds are born from quantum events. And these worlds are called stories, and there are stories upon stories that branch as variations of the main cosm or macrocosm, and there's infinite amount of them, which shows that every event in Mario's adventure is a quantum event. That a quantum event of is capable of creating stories upon stories without end, basically branching off into infinite amount of physically realized possibilities, meaning that every single event in Mario Canonical Adventure is capable of branching out into an infinite amount of timelines. Yes, I will fucking show something. Hold on. Sorry about that, guys. I'm back. I just got some water. Anyways, sorry about that. I just went to get some water. I sounded like a bot for a second. My bad. Anyways, I'm gonna show scans now. This um this little thing um right here is translated to the setting is not chronologically connected to Mario Galaxy 1 or Galaxy 1, but a different world. The characters do not know about the events in Galaxy 1, however, Rosalina seems to know about it. We will not explain these things in detail, but we will leave the user's imagination. Fuck. Sorry, it's going too fast. Oh yes, more Japanese god things. Hold on, I got you. It is set by its parallel world to the Stardust Festival. It's set in the daytime to show difference. The setting is a parallel galaxy to the grand finale galaxy. Wow, consistency that they're parallel. After the Toad explorers triumphantly return by deliberately using familiar locations for those who play Galaxy, we hint at the parallel concept and suggest a connection to Galaxy 1, as well as reusing NPCs and transformations. Which would mean that the macrocosm or microcosm, if you will, they're both the same. It's a hyper timeline that holds all of existence in all worlds and dimensions that could branch off into stories due to quantum events that it occurs. Let me read my chat. Well, from what I learned, magic in the Mario verse is that the more powerful your magic is, the more abilities you'll have. Yeah, um, that is true, but we'll get into that in a second. Now, we will be going within the higher planes within higher planes within fucking the entire inside the microcosm. Boo's realm. This is a world or a realm where ghosts usually reside in more as in the book when Mario banishes the ghost, they go back into the realm, and this realm is associated with ghosts. This ghost this realm is said to be extra dimensional. And as in Mario 64, Mario banishes Boo back to his extra dimensional home world. Extra dimensional could just mean that it's a higher dimensional plane. Seems to be the case. The realm is also beyond the microcosms as it states within the Japanese. Well, I'll get to that in a second. It was stated that the was stated in the same Japanese with the same statement. It states that them being an unscientific beings, meaning boos aren't bound or nor follow scientific laws and concepts of the microcosm. They're said to be beings manifesting mansions that while warping time and space on a conceptual level according to imagination. Which it perfectly aligns to Ghost as their parallel existence doesn't only defy the known concepts of the microcosm, but they can't be attained by lower realm as their existence is ungraspable of the mortal realm and microcosm, and the real they inhabit is beyond the reaches of the microcosm. Here you go. Also, I'm not gonna lie, I might make this into a two-part series because I'm getting tired. Hold After the Boo Realm, I'm in the afterlife. I'm gonna go to bed, so or just sign off for a night. This states right here that the baby also goes beyond the universe, which is in context of the microcosm. Now the afterlife. This is the realm where all spirits and boos go to. After finally finding peace with themselves as spirits, such as the Tea Party toads move to a higher plane of existence after they were satisfied having their last tea party on the mortal plane. This is supported in Mario Kun as spirits finding peace is equivalent of the nirvana, which makes it up than the booze realm. There exists hell. This is the plane of existence where foul souls go to after death. As in the place where the Buddhist god of hell, Enma which resides at its role in the plane of existence to decide whether or not souls deserve to go to their hell. The underworld is a realm that is said to be purgatory of the macrocosm, as it's where the souls go to if they are judged by their sins and they're stuck in underwear if they aren't good enough for heaven or hell. Underworld can be in context to underwear. Well, that seems to be it for part one. I had a really good time with y'all today. Before I go, I just want to say, thank you for being with my highs and lows. Like your guys' support always just helps me in the end. Like I truly am grateful for the community that I have. Like truly grateful. I'll see y'all tomorrow, alright? Bye bye!